Hello, friends, astrology friends around the world and in the United States. I wish you a happy 4th of July or happy 5th of July in this case when you probably see it. Happy Independence Day. I know the United States are going through so much these days, and my heartfelt empathy with the stress and challenges that are currently affecting this country, more divided, more disrupted than ever or than in a long time, and lots of shadow in government structures, etc., is being revealed as well. All of that in the name of the US Pluto return, which is exact this year, in fact, exact in July. And so it is quite fraught with things seem to be out of control, and the old world ain't no more. Things are in transformation, that's for sure. And the heart, the core, the essence, the Constitution of the United States and its spirit, very apropos Pluto, is called to be hopefully also a renewing agent at this time. This much about my astrological sense of United States. Also, I wrote an article in June about the US Pluto return and other activations, including, for example, Chiron return, Saturn on the US moon, and so on. So you can find that in my blog if you just search for US Pluto or such. Easy to find that article. And let's go to this week. This week's astrology, so it's still July the 4th and goes till July 11th, my week here today via video. Why July 4th? Because it is today, this evening, is a shift going on for Mercury and for Mars. Has already happened. Mercury has entered Cancer and Mars has just entered Taurus. And both are now in alignment with each other in a friendly sextile. It's quite a favorable, easy, flowing energy between what? Two shifts. Mercury from Gemini to Cancer. Mars from Aries, its own sign as well. Mercury was in its own sign, shifted away from Gemini, going into Cancer. Mars was in its own sign, Aries, shifted away into Taurus. So that's a softer energy altogether, more yin, more slower also, and more considerate, caring, gentle, all in all, more yin. And maybe we can take a breather now after so much fierce energy and lots of antagonistic warrior energy, fighting, and lots of starts also with Mars in Aries. Lots of things since end of May, by the way. And Gemini has been also for a long time. Mercury has also been for a long time in Gemini because it went retrograde from Gemini to Taurus, and now it's shifting out of all of this into Cancer. So it's a time to move from thinking, from the analytical and the intellectual, the brainy side, into feeling, into tuning in, into going into rapport and into connection with people and with oneself, and have caring thoughts and be it's really tuned in. Our thoughts might also go a lot to memories, to reflections, to family, to children, to the country also being an extension of the family, to our sense of belonging and to our needs, which is very Cancerian. So, how can we take care of these things and be gentle with ourselves, with the world, and also maybe talk to family again, especially if we haven't? And yeah, so carrying our heart more on our sleeves. And from the Martian side, going into Taurus, Mars is also per se not so suited for Taurus because the energy definitely slows down. To relax, to enjoy life. It's not so much about the drive of getting somewhere and of fighting for something or for battling with life, battling with the elements, being in warrior mode. This is more being in enjoyment mode, being in connection with nature and taking it slow and sensual and enjoyable, as I said. So Mars will, though, go into an alignment which is not so slow and gentle and is actually kicking and things into gear and into freedom, hopefully into liberation, when Mars meets Uranus. Mars, and not only will Mars meet Uranus, but also the North Node. All three together in Taurus between 18 and 19 degrees on August 1st. That's the second major alignment of the year after the Jupiter and Neptune alignment on April 12th. So, what's going on with that? That can be breakthroughs and breaking free, paradigm shifts, big impulses to liberate oneself from attachments, from being too stagnant, from being stuck in a rut, in habits, and in maybe unhealthy places. Uranus says, live now, don't wait, don't put your life on hold, as can happen with Taurus, or not being in a mode of resistance, because what you resist persists, but actually bust that and awaken. Uranus is the awakener. So it shakes us up, it wakes us up out of our slumber, out of our comfort zone, and that can be very disruptive or can be actually quite liberating. So being open to that and not being in extra resistant, cautious mode, say, oh, I hope nothing happens, I just need to be secure and all that, that wouldn't be so conducive for the Uranus mode. We want to bring in some positive Uranian experiments and yeah, and living life more fully, being also the light on earth, anchoring the light on the earth, and bringing heaven to earth and uh, contributing to a new earth consciousness that is alive and speaks also and expresses also how vibrant and alive nature is. So we want to be in this place, and what can we do to cultivate that? Just like a garden, tuning in to our senses and experiencing and enjoying things even more consciously. And yeah, so this aliveness is what also carries us through slow, dull, stagnant energies. It's a good challenge. What else is going on this week? There is a waxing moon from Virgo today, will go into Libra tomorrow, and the waxing moon will go from Virgo to Sagittarius, and that will be just before the full moon in Capricorn Cancer on the 13th of July. So it is a time to plant seeds, to get things going. We're in a renewal phase right now, and currently in the Virgo side, it's good to be also very discerning and noticing what is healthy, what promotes wellness, and what rather isn't. So being critical and being discriminating in a good way, and being of service. So doing work that serves others, that serves consciousness, that serves the awakening, and that would be probably very self-nurturing also with the moon in Virgo. Moon in Libra from tomorrow afternoon on, tomorrow 3:25 on until the evening of July 7th. Moon will be in Libra, so this is a time to cultivate art, culture, and everything beautiful, and anything that gives us peace and harmony and balance. So where is your life out of balance? How can you bring more balance in? What is the balancing factor that's needed? And then from Libra, the moon goes into Scorpio on Thursday evening, as I said, and that is crossing the tipping point. So the tipping point or choice point, in other words, choices might come up at that time that could feel like a big thing, and to see how do you feel about the choice, and how does these choices, and often they feel like decisions, but maybe even just a language to reframe them as choices, can help making this easier and more empowered. So choices lead to change, and choices have consequences, is what the message is from Libra to Scorpio. And choices can turn into some really magical thing. And the moon in Scorpio be having always such bad rep, because also deep, dark, and uncomfortable or painful feelings come up for processing. So that's one side of the Scorpionic expression. However, there's also the magical one. There's also the side of really tuning into a deep, intimate involvement with nature, for example, and with deeper sides in us. So if we're not afraid of the dark, not afraid of going more fully in, then Scorpio can be actually quite powerful. And the moon will be in Scorpio until July 10th, actually, until Sunday morning, July 10th, or just after late at night at 1:34 a.m. And that transition from Scorpio to Sagittarius, I call that the Phoenix point, Phoenix out of the ashes. Hopefully, having gone through so much, having processed themes that lead to renewal and to a rebirth and to a freedom and a rising of the energy after having gone really deep, dark, and down. So that is the promise of Sagittarius. And the moon in Sagittarius is together with the Cancer sun, can be actually quite a happy and joyful combination on Sunday the 10th. And then we have the moon in Sag is still on until the Tuesday morning, Tuesday late at night at 2:01 a.m. when it goes into Capricorn, and that will be covered in the next video. What else is on? Yes, very special week now, as of July 5th to 7th. These 3 days are actually the days of the week when the sun aligns with Sirius. So Sirius being the bright blue and indigo colored star. I hope you have seen Sirius at some point with a telescope. It really can be life changing. It's so powerful to see Sirius. I saw Sirius at some point in winter when an astrology group of us ventured out with a telescope of one of our guests, a friend of mine, who showed us the visible planets in the night sky and the stars. So they were Sirius, and really loved Sirius right away. Strong connection. And Sirius will rise before the sun at dawn on or after August 8th. That is when Sirius is far enough ahead of the sun in rising wise, while the sun is behind in the zodiac. No, the sun is behind. Sun is ahead in the zodiac. The sun will be in mid Leo, while Sirius is in mid Cancer from Earth's perspective, between 14 and 15 degrees. So when the sun is further enough, far enough away from Sirius, Sirius can rise before the sun, and that will be from August 8th on. And then we can see Sirius as a fall and winter constellation, not far from Orion. And why is Sirius so significant? Because it's the brightest star in our solar system and in our Milky Way galaxy. And it's from Earth's perspective. And Sirius is mythologically associated with Isis in Egypt, and of course with other deities in other cultures. But the one focus I have primarily is the Sirius Isis connection. So Isis being goddess and mother goddess, but also the goddess of transformation, because she is very associated with her connection with her brother Osiris, Sirius and Osiris. So there's and in the star constellations, they are mirrored, they are reflected as Sirius and Orion. And so that whole mythology brings up a lot around the sacred feminine, around the inner priestess energy, and that is being, and of course also the spiritual sun. Sirius is brighter than our sun, and Sirius connects us to the spiritual sun. And now we have not only Sun and Sirius aligned, but also Lilith. Lilith is at about how many degrees in Cancer currently? 8 or 9 degrees. We have the Sun Sirius. I have also a chart for Sun Sirius. Where is it? I wanted to show it to you. Behind the laptop somewhere. Sorry about that. Anyway, so it's sitting somewhere, and you can see it in my Facebook, on my Facebook page. I'll post the chart there. Already posted it for July the 4th. Anyway, so there is Sirius, the Sun, and Lilith aligned. Lilith being known as the wild woman, but there's so much more to Lilith. Archetypally, Lilith actually takes us to our inner wild, to our inner unconditioned self, to our preconditioned self. So who are you, from a Cancer perspective, who were you before parents were born? That Zen Kuan, right? And who were you before you were born, before you were a child before we were in the womb. So, big mysteries around Lilith in Cancer. And where's your true home? Where is your wild heart taking you? How's your wild heart taking you home these days? Lots of themes to explore together with Sirius as well. The inner priestess, the inner sacred feminine who is here to reflect and not necessarily to instruct or to be, so much the doer. From a Lilith perspective, it's an energy that emanates and has a strong effect just by that, by presence, by beingness. So I will leave it with this and invite you at this mid-Cancer time, which is takes everything deeper. The center of each sign has usually a fixed energy to it. So mid-Cancer has also a Scorpio energy to it. When the moon will be in Scorpio during that time, as I said, it's July, where are we again? Until July 10th. So it would have started on July 7th in the evening until July 10th in the morning. That can be really a deeper and a bit diving into old, uh, early childhood themes, family themes, deeper layers of our associations, our needs, our need for safety, security, our insecurities, our tenderness, our sensitivity, and what's behind it, right? And so I invite you to be gentle with yourself this week. And I see you again next week when we approach the full moon in Capricorn together with Pluto opposing the sun in Cancer. Quite a powerful full moon. And that will be on July 13th. Have a good week. Bye bye.